So I'm at Poolsville at National Drive Electric Week, and I ran into Armando. Say hi.
How you doing? How you doing?
He has a Kia EV9 GT. Yes. And ironically enough, I just showed him a video that I did of a guy who lives on Andrews Air Force Base, and we did the same thing. I showed you part of the video, and he was singing praises about it, which is fine. That's up to him. But you are singing somewhat praises, but you want to point out some things that for people who are interested in this vehicle, you need to point out something that you may or may not expect.
So the GT line has some things.
Don't be quiet. Don't be quiet on me now, because you was yelling a minute ago.
The GT line has some things that are good about it. So the GT line has really good performance.
Okay.
It's honestly, for a vehicle this size, this heavy, the driver assistance that you get on it, the features you get on it, and the passenger comfort's really good.
Right.
But then there's some things that are a little unique to it. So the GT line has these tires that this particular width dimension is proprietary to this car. There are some replacements out there, but if you get a flat in the middle of nowhere, you'd be hard pressed to find something that's this exact replacement right away.
Wow.
So that's one thing. The other thing is they made this front piece, it's a sheet of tempered glass.
Okay.
So if this gets shattered, it's very expensive to repair and then hard to replace. And that's just kind of the design. They wanted to figure out something to do with this front grille area, because a lot of these companies now, they don't know what to do with this front grille area, so they get a little creative with it. I don't know that glass was the best thing.
Right.
But outside of those two things, I mean, this vehicle is probably the best car I've ever owned.
Oh.
It's just one of these, and I've driven electric vehicles all over the country for various reasons. I've gone on Turo and I've driven basically everything on the market.
Right.
This is still one of the best ones. The EGMP platform, which this runs on, it's an incredible platform.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's just some tiny things that if I were to do this again, what would I do? I would probably go a trim down to the wind. Because the wind has normal tires. It's a little cheaper, and the wind is still fast. You're still not, I mean, yeah, you're not getting, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds like this is, but it's still fast.
Right. And that's why they call it the wind.
Yeah. it's not a slouch at all, you know.
Right.
And you get some fun features like the fact that you can actually get mud flaps in. If you get one of these, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Because they bolt right into the bottom.
Oh, yes.
And you can get it from a Kia dealership. And if you don't, this plastic trim gets kind of chewed up by a lot of the rocks. It's got this nice glossy finish.
I see.
So it's recommended to get those mud flaps if you can. I haven't gone because I got to go to a Kia dealership and ask them for it and do all that. The other thing is there's a tow hitch installation that you can get, and that's about $1,000 that you can get it more or less installed. You could buy the tow hitch yourself for $700. It's not that bad to install yourself. You have to crawl under the car. You can do it without lifting it, and you can do the whole tow hitch for it. But I mean, that's basically it. These little things with the car are the two little things I'd say is just the tires and that front. The other thing to be aware of is that not every place can handle repairing these cars. There have been issues with underneath here is part of a charging unit that handles level 2 charging, things like that. When they die, it's very hard for the dealerships to get that part. It's very hard for them to get it replaced. So sometimes if you live in an area like here in the DC area, there's a lot of dealerships who handle these cars. They know exactly what to do. They get that issue, they go, okay, you know what? We've seen tons of these. We know how to replace it. It's gonna take forever to get the part in.
Right.
But we can get it fixed for you.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, if you live somewhere a little less populated with EVs, the dealership may not know what to do. They might sit there just a little puzzled, and you might be waiting for a part for quite some time.
So this is the thing that automatically jumped in my brain. Kia technically is not an EV company. They are a car company. So cars are tantamount to their money-making business, and EVs are kind of like, hey, we're trying to turn a page here, but you drew the exact same problem that most people have expressed. If they buy an EV from a traditional gas company car, it tends to be a little bit longer wait on parts that's coming in.
Yes, But again, that's going to depend on where you live.
Where you live, that's correct.
Here,
yes.
You know, I go to one of the Kia dealerships in Northern Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
They knew exactly what to do with this car the minute it rolled in.
Right.
The minute it rolled in, they knew the issues they have. They knew exactly what to do. So I got this actually delivered in West Virginia because I know this might be hard to believe, but they have trouble selling electric cars in West Virginia.
Really? I didn't.
So I got a little bit of a discount.
I'm surprised.
So one of the things is,
What they say? Please take it off the lot.
right, and these cars, when they sit on the ships, because this was built in South Korea,
Okay.
they tend to have this spot where the tires are maybe unbalanced,
Yeah.
or maybe that this thing isn't exactly maybe coming out of off the ship ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I had alignment and tire weight issues and things like that.
And plus, you didn't get the $7,500 tax credit because it was
No,
forward
but
pay.
he is now building it into the car.
Oh, really?
And they have a new thing, which is kind of like the Conquest credit that I think Mercedes has.
Okay.
So if you own an EV, I think you have to own a Tesla. They'll give you $9,000 total.
Wow.
That's a new thing for this car. So although you don't get it, they're still building it in because they're trying to incentivize people doing it.
Okay.
But if you buy it somewhere else, you run into the issue with lemon law. Like you might have
Yeah.
somebody, you have to take it back there for
Yeah.
lemon law
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you have a good local repair shop that knows what to do and a good Kia dealership, as soon as I took it in, they knew exactly what was wrong. Sometimes these cars sit on the boat and the tires get unbalanced because they're on one spot, so they have to do a tire balance when they come in. The dealership I bought it from didn't know that.
All right. And it's about 45 days being shipped or longer.
Right.
Yeah.
They have
Go
no idea that was going to be an issue.
Right.
And now, it's good. I mean, this
Right.
thing is perfect. It rocks out.
So last thing before we leave, one of my friends called me, and you talked to him actually, and he was inquiring about his daughter wanting to get a Kia, and there is practically no space here.
No, you get a...
There you go.
And honestly, the spaces that you see missing there, because in the European Union, they're required to have like
The tire
traffic
pressure.
triangles and
Yeah.
things like that,
Right.
which we
Right.
don't have.
Right. Right.
We don't have that requirement, so we don't have that here.
So
There's no
small,
space.
small front space, actually no trunk space.
No, and if you get the wind version, or if you get one of the rear-wheel drive versions, the frunk is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually is a deeper depression for the frunk in the lower trims.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to explain that. I always like talking to people that the owners know better than me. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Very welcome.